I'm Jeanette from YearbookLife. Welcome to another yearbook season. If you're new around here, you'll want to know that every year we implement software updates to improve your yearbook software. I'm going to turn it over to Gary to highlight the features we've implemented this year.
Hello, this is Gary here to walk you through a feature highlights for the brand new fall 2022 release. And basically, I'm going to walk through, hopefully pretty quickly, all of the new features, just bouncing around through the software. When you log in, the first thing you see is the activity page. Number one, you see a preview of the book. This is a live view of the cover in the book. If I click on the preview icon below it, I can step through a full screen preview of the book. This is available right here on the main page to anybody when they log in. The other change that we made in companionship with this is the user level that's viewer. So the lowest level of user permissions called viewer, they can only see the activity page now. And so when a viewer logs in, they only see this button here. They don't see the rest of this. They can see the overall status of the book, and they can see the preview, and they can see kind of the book spec and things like that. And so that's it. And so this helps with the viewer permissions as well. The other thing you'll see here, little past due banner. This is triggered off of the due date, and so you see this is book is 5-page past due. We're highlighting it a little more prominently now. The other thing that goes up here is a book submitted message. And so when the book has been submitted, it'll say book submitted along with the date and who submitted it. And so, again, just a really quick kind of visual update as to the major statuses of the yearbook. So you can just kind of log in and see those couple of things here. Okay, now we will move over to the yearbook ladder page. I've only got one thing that I really want to show you here for this season. If I go to, let's just find a section with a bunch of pages in it. This is kind of a messy book, but I'll just go into sports. I'll click on settings here. And this used to be a rearrange. It would let you just rearrange the pages in a section. Now it's called organize pages. So you can rearrange the pages in the section, but obviously you can see a little icon here. You can also delete. And so you can delete any pages within the section now. That'll update. It prompts you, are you sure? And click yes. Okay, and so that's deleting and rearranging. Okay, next we're going to jump into the editing page. That's where most of the good news stuff is. This year, I'm going to take this school days section. It's blank, and I'll go ahead and open this in the editor. First thing you're going to see right off the bat, because I left them turned on, is we have rulers up here. So I guess I'll just start there. The rulers are under the grid menu, and so you can show and hide rulers now. Okay, and then again, just like before, you can also show a grid. You can control the granularity of the grid and the snap. One of the other things that we did this year is all of these settings in this menu stick now. And so if I close this section out, I go to another section of the book, I come back later, whatever. My settings are going to be saved here. And so these rulers will stay on now until at the time that you come back in and turn them off. Okay, now I'm going to shoot over here to content. And so one of the biggest things that we did this summer for the new release is a whole bunch of new themes. And this year we focused on high school themes. Now what you'll see, we've got a whole bunch of new high school themes. I'll just kind of drag some onto the page here. This one's called diversity. And you can see, I'll turn off the grid so you can see the spread. I'll give you a little tour. And so the high school themes are larger than the previous themes, and they actually have a formula to them. And so high school themes are eight spreads, and they have major sections. And so they have student life, sports, academics, clubs, and portraits intro sections. And then they have some other additional pages that can be used throughout the book. And then they also have modules. And so modules could be things like a survey. We have scoreboards, we have student quotes. And so there's different modules throughout the high school themes. And so any of the high school themes that are all new, they all follow this guideline to make them a true high school theme. So this one's diversity. This is a pretty cool one I like called mindfulness. It's got some cool kind of little quotes through it and things like that. And again, with themes, like always, everything can be moved around, customized, and so forth. Oh, by the way, you'll also see a little icon here. We added an icon to all the photo frames, separate icon for all the portrait frames this year, which you'll see later. And so it's really easy to distinguish between the two image frame types. That's just a little minor enhancement, wasn't even on my list. So moving on through, we've got movie night. This is a pretty cool one. We've got school times, which is kind of a newspaper focus theme. Think Green. Think Green is kind of an eco-friendly theme. It's got a bunch of recycling content in it, things like that. So, in any case, there are about 15 new high school themes in here. I'll show you later. You can turn on and off content based on high school, middle school, and elementary school this year. And so, if you have a high school, you can hide all the elementary school stuff and vice versa. I'm going to come back to mindfulness. I like to use that one. And another thing, I'm going to show you a little info box right here. Little info box will give you description of the theme, tells you what type of school it's recommended for, gives you a little overview, tells you the fonts, clip art elements, and backgrounds that were used in the theme. This info box appears in a couple places in the software, and it's also prominent in the content reference guide. This year, we also have cover themes. And so there was never a themes tab up here before for covers. And so when you open up a cover, you'll have themes, categories, and customizable cover themes as well this year. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead. I'll just go to candidates and I'm just going to autofill this with some photos. And I'll show you some of the other design features here. Okay, we'll go ahead and select this photo here and we'll click on borders. And if we click on borders, you'll see that we've pretty dramatically updated the borders functionality. And so first of all, obviously you can do a shape now. And so you can control the shape of that image. You can add a border to the image, control the thickness. You can control the color of the border from a color picker. You can add a drop shadow. You can adjust the transparency of the drop shadow. You can also adjust the color of the drop shadow. Okay, so really cool new border feature here. Of course, you can remove the border. You can apply the border to all of the images on the page. And then next up over here, we have edges. Edges is the same functionality called edge effects before. And a lot of these are unique to some of the themes in the software. Puzzled, for example, goes with the puzzle theme and so forth. We put them all in with the border so you have all the edge type stuff in one place right now. Okay, so that's the new borders functionality. Going along with that functionality, there's also a new add shape feature up here that works similarly, but you can lay a shape down onto the page and control, everything that I just showed you. So I can make a shape, I can fill the shape, make a drop shadow, and so forth. I can add that shape to the page and drag it around. And then you see I have border control, rotation, layering controls, and delete, of course, and things like that. So shape tool is really cool. We have, I'll go back through all these different shapes, even lines in here this year. Okay, so totally brand new feature. Now we'll move on to the multi-select stuff. Lots of new things happen now when you multi-select images. And so I'll take image frames first. This one's already selected. Hold the control key, command key on Mac, and click to select multiple images. You'll get this multi-select menu. Multi-select menu was always here. Additional features in here now. So when I have image frames selected, I have a borders control. So I can adjust the border, the shape, drop shadow, again, all the same controls again. I can adjust those for all of the selected images. So you'll see borders go right across those selected images. I'll undo that. I can also multi-select text frame. When I multi-select only text frames, I'll get a text icon here. I can update the font size, alignment, horizontal and vertical alignment, and line spacing here for all of the selected text boxes. So again, really cool new feature. I will now go ahead and grab just some random combination of text, image frames, boxes, and so forth, and click on alignment. So on the alignment tool, we've expanded this pretty dramatically. We also put on in the standard icons, these icons are pretty universal. We put them in here just to make it a little easier to understand. Align left. And actually what you can see too is those peak highlights show me what's going to happen with each of these features. So real quickly, align left will add all the selected, align all the selected objects to the left. Center, align center. Align middles. So align center aligns them vertically centered. Align middles will align them horizontally centered. Okay, align right. We've got top. We've got align the bottom, and then finally we've got align to page center. So that will center everything on the page. Okay, so that is the new multi-select alignment feature. And now we're going to move on to another feature. I'm going to select an image, just select this photo down here. And on the image toolbar, another new feature, colorize. So I can colorize images now. I've only played with this a little bit. Basically, you click colorize, you select a color. It works the same way as you do with elements. You click OK, and you can apply that color to the image. I've only played with it a little bit, and I found that the image qualities have a big effect on what colors work best. And so sometimes it's darker, sometimes it's lighter. But the whole idea is to get, a cool kind of duotone effect just that goes along with the color scheme of your designs. A lot of things that you can do with something like this that make cool backgrounds too. You can tone it down quite a bit by adding transparency to it and, also moving into the back and things like that. Okay, so that is the new colorize images feature. We'll now jump into, get rid of that. We'll jump into the portrait wizard. So I'll click on the portraits tab and we'll go into the portrait wizard. I've got one folder of images selected. That's fine. And we'll just launch into here. These two previews, this is debugging stuff. I didn't want to hold up my video. We'll have that stuff turned off. We're in kind of the final throes of the release over the next day or two right now. So don't worry about that stuff. It has nothing to do with what I want to show you. I'm just going to go ahead and apply my portraits to the page. And what you can see is I've got colored labels here. This is what I want to show you. So the name text now has a fill color. And so I can adjust the fill color. I can adjust the text color and then just get, real cool and click apply, get a really cool effect for those portrait labels. And then the other thing that's in here is some more advanced borders control. So if I click over here, again, I can control the shape of all of the images. I can add a border. Now I can add a drop shadow. You couldn't add a drop shadow to circles before. And so now we can go ahead and do that. And so you can see kind of the type of additional effects that I can get on portraits. Just to carry it through, I'll go ahead and okay. So that's some cool new portrait functionality, and I will undo that. The last thing that is on the editor, it's not here right now. I'll show you clip art. On clip art, we have a search for clip art. So you can search for clip art. That is now going to be right here for backgrounds. All the backgrounds have been tagged. There's 5,000 of them. They're tagged for color, design style, unique attributes, and things like that. And so you'll be able to search for a collection of backgrounds across all categories this year. Super duper helpful feature. Okay. With that said, let's get out of the editor. I'll cancel out of here. I'm going to move along to the Photos tab, and I'm going to go to Candids. I've got a folder of Candids open, and I'm going to show you a new feature that allows you to remove background, knock out the background of images. And so, this feature, it's automatic. It works better on some backgrounds than others. You see this image right here. This has a pattern, like a net in the background. That's not going to work very well. This image right here, where'd she go? This image right here has a plain background. It works really, really well. This is a nice image here. Let's give this one a try. So I'm going to go ahead, check the box to select this image, and then we'll move up here to remove background on the toolbar. Click on remove background. It loads this image in the dialog, and you simply click remove. And there you go, removes the background. Really cool effect to drag this image onto the page in an editor. If you save it, it'll give you a new version of the image that's a PNG file that has a transparent background. Okay, great new feature. One more thing I'll point out down at the bottom here. Background removal requires credits. And so we're giving all customers 10 credits per site so that you can remove your backgrounds. Let us know if you have any questions about this feature. Can't wait to see some of the designs that you're able to come up with this new feature. The other thing carrying on from this that we can do this year is we can also upload pings directly into Candids folders. And so if you're a Photoshop guru, you know how to mask out backgrounds, or you want to do some other things in Photoshop, that it might include a transparent background, you can now upload them directly as pings into the software and lay them down onto the page. And so beyond this simple remove background functionality, it gives you a whole lot of other design capabilities as well. On the configure page, as you probably know, you can manage all of the content, view all of the content here as well. This is the other theme information section that I told you about. So every theme, last year's themes as well as this year's themes, have specific information about the theme here. You can also configure themes, turn them on or off in the software. If you check high school, only the high school themes will show. Middle school, elementary, same thing. You can gang them up and select multiple categories. You can uncheck all, or you can just check them one at a time. And so the whole idea here is for an advisor to be able to restrict the amount of content that's available to the users so everyone's working from the same content. And that works for backgrounds, fonts, clip art, and elements as well. Okay. Last thing I will show you on configuration is page numbers. This year, we're allowing advisors. Remember, this is advisor configuration. Only advisors can come into this page. Only advisors can see this button. Advisors can now come in here, go to page numbers, and adjust the page number positioning, the margin from the edge of the page, font size, style, and whether or not they're outlined, and then update these page number variables across all of their pages. So that's page numbers on the configure page. And I think with that pretty much wraps up the major feature highlights. As always, there's lots of little just minor enhancements to existing features. There's a bunch of bug fixes and things like that in here, as well as some performance improvements. So I hope you enjoy the new version. Thank you for your time. Have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to the 22 to 23 yearbook season. Thanks again.
As always, thank you, Gary, for all the information. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, please feel free to call us at 888-680-0143 or email us at production@YearbookLife.com. Have a great day.